Thanks for coming our way. I mean, it just elevates this event in so many ways, and what Caitlin has done, not just in on the court, but just in general for women and girls in sport, and such an inspiration and motivation. So I really look forward to seeing your game tomorrow.
I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
If you're a basketball player, but just a recreational golfer like Caitlin is, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespects the LPGA golfers by thinking she can go into this tournament and do anything.
Caitlin Clark stepping into an LPGA golf tournament was the shockwave nobody saw coming. Yet it was exactly what she needed this offseason. From the very first step onto the green, the golf world froze, stunned by the magnitude of the Caitlin Clark effect. Her arrival didn't just turn heads, it ignited a storm of attention that revealed what true appreciation looks like. The biggest names in golf couldn't believe the frenzy she generated, and they made sure to give her the respect she's earned. Respect. The WNBA has often failed to deliver, but this is only the beginning. What happened next left the entire golf community in awe, forced everyone to rethink what real recognition should look like. One name in particular, Nelly Korda, one of the top golfers alive, made sure Caitlin felt not just welcomed but celebrated, and the way she embraced Clark stood in stark contrast to the cold, jealousy-driven silence from WNBA players who struggled with Caitlin's rising spotlight. Korda's words weren't just empty praise, they were proof that Caitlin's presence had elevated the event, and what she said shocked everyone.
So sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here, and to see how amazing of an influence she is just for sports was really cool to see firsthand today.
Maria Fassi, the talented Mexican golfer, was next, and her reaction became yet another testament to the unstoppable Clark effect. Fassi's response dripped with genuine admiration, showing the world what it truly means when women lift each other up. Unlike the bitter resistance Caitlin often faces from jealous WNBA peers, Fassi proved that real sportsmanship isn't about insecurity, it's about recognition. Her words carried weight, declaring that Caitlin's influence transcends sports boundaries, powerful enough to make even seasoned professionals stop, take notice, and applaud. This wasn't just about golf anymore, it was about rewriting the standard of how female athletes should celebrate each other. The question was clear: if Fassi and the LPGA could recognize it, why couldn't the WNBA?
I wanted to come say hi and introduce myself. I play out here on tour. I'm Maria.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being out here. It's very cool what you're doing for sports, kicking ass.
Then came the Golf Channel. Their coverage didn't just highlight Caitlin's participation, they pulled back the curtain on what her presence really meant. They asked the bold question: what if Caitlin Clark and the LPGA joined forces long-term? The potential was staggering. With Caitlin's star power shining beyond basketball, the LPGA saw a golden opportunity to boost visibility and electrify the game for a whole new audience. Their coverage wasn't about limiting Caitlin, it was about expanding her universe. And in that moment, the contrast with the WNBA grew even sharper, where her own league failed to harness her impact. Golf opened the door to something bigger. The Golf Channel made it clear: a Caitlin Clark LPGA alliance could change women's sports forever. But the real twist, they weren't done praising her yet.
It's been a huge win already for the LPGA in terms of publicity. Now, what the LPGA does with this going forward, that remains to be seen. But given Clark and her love of golf, saying, she was going to go off and become a professional golfer, I think there's an opportunity here for the LPGA to capitalize and maybe make this into more of a partnership that could benefit both sides beyond just this one.
As the cameras kept rolling, the Golf Channel doubled down. They described Caitlin's arrival as an energy surge that shook the entire tournament. Fans, players, and commentators alike were swept up in the electricity. The support poured in endlessly, showing what true recognition looks like when an athlete is valued not for politics, not for jealousy, but for talent. And once again, the golf world became the mirror the WNBA couldn't escape. The question burned hotter with every highlight: if golf could embrace Caitlin Clark this way, why couldn't her own league?
Definitely a buzz in the air. I think there's a lot of excitement about what's to come. Caitlin Clark is actually speaking as a part of a panelist this afternoon. So for those who are lucky enough to be in the room, that's exciting. Of course, people can watch it and stream online as well. But I know players are getting excited about seeing some of Caitlin's action tomorrow.
But then everything slowed down. During the tournament, Caitlin was asked a simple question. How did she first fall in love with golf? Her answer was nothing short of fascinating. She revealed an unexpected, almost accidental beginning, one that grew into a deep passion outside of basketball. Her story was heartfelt, overwhelming, and beautiful. It painted her not just as a star athlete, but as a competitor with endless love for sports in every form. And in that moment, fans saw another layer of Caitlin Clark grow real and unforgettable. What she revealed next about her journey, nobody was prepared for.
Dad, I loved it. My dad played a little bit growing up, and then I remember for one of my birthdays, I asked for golf clubs, and I got this like cute little pink set. It was probably from, who knows, like just the store up the street, and a cheap plastic, not plastic, but pretty cheap pair. I had them for a while. They were cute. And then eventually got some nice clubs, and you know, I really love it.
And then Rachel Demita, a respected TV host, dropped her take, and it hit like a hammer. In a video that went viral instantly, she explained exactly what the LPGA did right and what the WNBA completely failed to do. Demita laid it out clearly. The LPGA embraced Caitlin's star power, leveraged it, and turned it into a massive promotional success. Meanwhile, the WNBA let that golden opportunity slip right through their fingers. Her words were a warning and a blueprint at the same time, proof that leagues who recognize their stars rise, while those who don't crumble. And as her message echoed across social media, one truth became impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing basketball, she's changing the future of women's sports.
This Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television.
When Caitlin Clark finally teed off in the LPGA, the atmosphere shifted instantly. The entire golf environment came alive. Social media lit up with posts and live chats tracking the 22-year-old's every swing. While the Golf Channel launched coverage a full 90 minutes earlier just to showcase her highlights, the excitement was electric. But beneath that celebration, Rachel noticed something troubling. The WNBA still hadn't learned how to value Caitlin. Instead, it seemed intent on balancing her rising fame against rivals, dimming her light rather than letting it shine. The contrast was painful. The LPGA embraced her brilliance, while her own league resisted. And as the buzz grew louder, one truth became undeniable. When Caitlin Clark is embraced, she transforms everything around her. But the story was far from over, because Rachel had more to say, and her words cut deep.
From this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark, and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that. And those are the types of things that we have been hearing for the entirety of the WNBA season last.
Then came Brittany Lincecum, a respected professional golfer, and her praise resonated like thunder. She didn't hold back, calling Caitlin Clark an absolute game changer, not just for basketball, not just for golf, but for women's sports everywhere. Her admiration was heartfelt, her tone electrified by the magnitude of Caitlin's impact. Fans from both worlds felt that this was bigger than just one tournament. Brittany's words were a wake-up call, a reminder of how much energy Caitlin carries with her into every arena she enters. And as her comments spread, one haunting question lingered. If golf could see Caitlin as a game changer, why couldn't the
done for women's sports and basketball, and to have her at our golf tournament, like, I mean, I'm in awe. I got a basketball. I'm hoping she signs it for my girls. But it's just really cool to see her coming out. I've seen her swing. I think she has a great swing and she has potential.
Brittany's words struck a chord and exposed a sharp contrast. While she poured out genuine admiration, Caitlin was still fighting through jealousy and bitterness in the WNBA. Brittany showed what true support looks like, the kind that fuels athletes to reach their absolute best. But she wasn't the only one watching. Steph Curry, the NBA superstar with a love for golf, added his own voice to the chorus. Having played in countless celebrity tournaments, Curry understood the difficulty of crossing sports, and he marveled at Caitlin's ability to dominate both the court and the green. His admiration echoed everything the golf community had already said. Caitlin Clark is different, unique, and her influence is undeniable. But then an even bigger name spoke up.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence, I can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer. It's crazy though, just because her shot is like that, it's at that level. If you really watch like her floor game is as impressive. So it's kind of the total package. And her being the French breaking that record and the amount of attention that she has gained over the course of these last couple of years. Every building she goes into, there's a different energy. Like, it's great for her, great for women's basketball.
Tiger Woods, the legend himself, known for his rare selective praise. Tiger stunned the sports world when he spoke candidly about Caitlin Clark. He admitted her athleticism, her charisma, and her sheer ability to bring excitement to any sport had left him genuinely impressed. His words reverberated through every corner of the sports community. When one of the greatest athletes of all time acknowledges you, it's not just recognition, it's validation of a legacy in the making. But Tiger didn't stop there. He went further, calling out the stark difference between golf's embrace of Caitlin and the WNBA's cold dismissal. His praise was powerful and his criticism of the WNBA hit like a lightning strike. Yet just as the conversation soared, controversy exploded. Gino Auriemma, a towering figure in women's basketball, suddenly made headlines with jaw-dropping remarks. He called Caitlin's golf ambitions disrespectful to the LPGA. The sports world was stunned, but then whispers started. Was the video even real? Or was it something more sinister?
A basketball player, but just a recreational golfer like Caitlin is, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespects the LPGA golfers by thinking she can go into this tournament and do anything. There are actually fans that think she can make birdies or even pars. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's golf a bad name. So the kid is set up for failure right from the beginning.
As the clip spread, questions mounted. Sharp-eyed viewers noticed glitches in the footage. Many of Auriemma's supposed lines sounded eerily recycled from an earlier interview on The Dan Patrick Show. Could the whole thing have been doctored? Was it fake outrage manufactured to drag Caitlin into controversy? The speculation spread like wildfire, yet even in the storm, Caitlin's name only grew bigger. And while critics argued over what was true, another legend stepped in with clarity. Annika Skrinstam, the icon who built women's golf into what it is today, publicly thanked Caitlin for joining the tournament. She acknowledged Clark's brutal schedule, praised her willingness to show up, and highlighted how significant her presence was for the sport itself. Her words weren't just polite, they were a powerful endorsement, an undeniable reminder that Caitlin Clark doesn't just participate, she elevates. And the deeper question lingered. If golf's greatest legends see it, why can't her own league?
For coming our way. I mean, it just elevates this event in so many ways, and what Caitlin has done, not just in, on the court, but just in general for women and girls in sport, and such an inspiration and motivation. So, I really look forward to seeing your game tomorrow.
Oh gosh.
Annika Skrinstam's recognition of Caitlin Clark was both professional and deeply heartfelt, a far cry from the petty treatment Caitlin so often endures in the WNBA. Annika didn't just acknowledge Caitlin's incredible skills. She highlighted the sheer dedication it takes to excel in multiple sports at such an elite level. She spoke about Caitlin's resilience, her unstoppable drive, and her rare ability to inspire others, traits Annika declared truly special. Coming from a legend like Skrinstam, this praise wasn't just polite, it was a masterclass in how women's sports should uplift their stars. Meanwhile, the WNBA's jealousy-driven hesitation looked weaker than ever in comparison. Rachel Demita, who had already been outspoken about Caitlin's treatment, wasn't silent either. She doubled down, delivering a message that struck like lightning. Demita pointed out that the WNBA had failed its brightest star not by accident, but by choice. Instead of embracing Caitlin as the flagship player who could redefine the league, they resisted. They feared her spotlight would overshadow others. And in doing so, they limited not just Caitlin but the entire league. The contrast was glaring. The LPGA recognized Caitlin's potential instantly, leveraging her presence to generate unprecedented buzz. Her participation didn't just bring excitement, it brought new fans, new sponsors, and new energy to women's golf. Meanwhile, the WNBA hesitated, treating her like just another player rather than the generational talent she is. Demita's words were sharp. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, and missing this chance could cripple the league's growth for years, and the proof was undeniable. The Golf Channel adjusted its entire schedule, starting coverage an hour and a half earlier just to spotlight Caitlin. Social media lit up with highlights, live chats, and endless fan reaction. The electricity she brought to the course was overwhelming, and the LPGA harnessed it to perfection. In contrast, the WNBA continues to let ego management and petty politics overshadow the very star who could carry them into the future. Demita's conclusion was unflinching. The golf world sees Caitlin as an asset, someone who elevates the sport, while the WNBA treats her like a problem to be managed. This isn't just short-sighted, it's self-sabotage. The LPGA has laid out the blueprint for success. Celebrate your stars, embrace their influence, and let them shine. The WNBA, by clinging to jealousy and hesitation, is on the verge of wasting the greatest gift they've ever been given. Looking back on Caitlin's time in the LPGA tournament, one thing is clear: her presence was transformative. Fans, players, and commentators alike praised her skills and her courage to step outside basketball. The respect and admiration poured in endlessly, a refreshing reminder of how women's sports can thrive when their stars are celebrated rather than suppressed. Caitlin Clark is more than a player, she's a movement. She has the power to redefine women's basketball for an entire generation. But that will only happen if the WNBA chooses to embrace her fully. The LPGA proved what's possible when you value your stars: the excitement, the viewership, the cultural impact. The time for hesitation is over. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. They can continue to hold Caitlin back, risking not only her loyalty but the momentum she brings, or they can learn from the LPGA, lift her up, and let her shine at her fullest potential. The decision they make now will shape the future of the league. One truth remains undeniable: Caitlin Clark is a star. The stars must be nurtured, celebrated, and allowed to lead. Anything less is failure. And if the WNBA refuses to adapt, they risk losing not just Caitlin but everything she represents. The golf world has shown the way. Now, the WNBA must decide if they'll follow or be left behind.